amazing. The only thing you and I have in common is our prayer life. Yeah, and I'd like you to start praying for me now, because this makes me nervous. Anyway, you guys have been so generous to Clearance for Clean Water, and I'm going to tell you a little bit. Am I going to have to have you hold that for me? I want to tell you a little bit about where the funds went that you guys have generously given to us. If I can do this. I'll explain why we're doing this at the end of all of this. Again, you know that I combined horses and Rotary and water into a project, so I raise funds for water projects all over the world, and they're basically always pretty much through Rotary because of the accountability and the involvement of Rotarians on a volunteer basis. My personal involvement is very important in all of these projects because of the accountability of where your dollar goes. I'm a big proponent of every dime, every dollar that anybody gives needs to go directly for what they believe it is going to. So with that in mind, when we started the Remba Island project, and it is an island in Lake Victoria in Kenya, I know Dr. John Dracup. He is a professor at University of California at Berkeley in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. I know his wife, Kathleen Dracup. She is the Dean of Surgical Nursing at the University of California, San Francisco. And these were two of the key proponents that were involved in the project for Remba Island, along with Dr. Jeremy Penner, who I also met and know personally. He's a fellow E-Club 1 member with myself. And then also I met him at the Water Summit that I attended in New Orleans in 2011 when Rotary International was there. So there were three key people that I knew with the Remba Island project. So I felt very comfortable in raising funds for what they were planning in their second phase. Their first phase was a stopgap with the life straws on Remba Island. It's all rock, and the population goes from 4,000 to about 10,000 during the fishing season. So all of these fishermen bring their families to this rock barren island, and the trash is terrible. The surface water of Victoria Island is, Lake Victoria is terribly contaminated. Children get sick and die, and as you know, the under 5-year-old child with problems that come from contaminated water are immense. The mortality rate is very high for that under 5 child. So these were some of the things that they wanted to solve for this area. So the first phase was the life straw, which is just a stopgap, and they used it. The mortality rate went down about 65% for their children, which of course a mom or a dad would make sure that the kids were using the life straws and thinking, but you know, they're cumbersome, and it was not a permanent remedy for them. So the second phase is where I decided to pledge some money from Clearance for Clean Water in our fundraising efforts. Our efforts include our logo products that we have that we sell at horse shows. We do fundraising at horse shows, and also grants that are given to Clearance for Clean Water from other Rotary foundations, and personal donations. So the second phase was a solar-powered pump that would pump the water up from a raw water tank into a clear and a clean water tank, because it would push that water through microfilters. And it's very, very simple, which is good because I'm simple and I can't, you know, when some of these engineering projects come out, they're immense and I don't get them. This I get. It's solar powered, the pump is generated by the power, it goes through the microfilters, it's very, very simple. And it's been very, very successful. We didn't have a projector here, but I wanted to show you. So this is exactly what your funds that you gave to us that were also matched and incorporated went to. And you can see, and I have a couple of these pictures, and all of these are on the web, but we're real, real proud of this project. They're in a kiosk now. So it's a water kiosk that people can come and they pay a small, small fee. It's maybe 3 cents, 4 cents in that monetary system, because that goes then to maintain this with the Nukura and the Great Rift Valley Rotary that's there, that has overseen this project along with Jeremy Penner and the University of California. So it's an ongoing, it's got the maintenance, that money goes back into maintaining this whole program. So again, thank you very, very much for that support. And I wanted to show you exactly where those dollars went. I was able to write a check in December and put it in the hand of a friend of mine that was personally going to Remba Island. And just fortunately enough, she's a personal friend. They also do some funding over there, and she was also a writer. So I just want you to know that my personal involvement with this just goes very, very deep. And that's what the decision making in all of the projects for Clear Rounds, for Clean Water, and my board of directors is focused on. Can we make these people know how important we think every dollar is and keep them 100% responsible for it?